So, I welcome you to the lecture series on digital image processing. And today, our topic will be color image processing. Well, before starting our topic, I want to ask you a question from the last lectures. Actually, we have discussed a lot about different noise filtering techniques and different filters, actually. Now, I want to ask you one question, that is, what is periodic noise and which type of filtering techniques we will use for this type of noise filtering, that is periodic noise filtering. Okay, so do some homework and comment your answer. Now, coming to today's lecture, so you'll see this image. You all are very much aware up to now that this image is the Lina image. Now, this is the color image. Okay, suppose now look at this image. So, what difference you will see here is that the color image obviously brings a lot of information than the other or its gray version, okay, or its black and white versions. So that's why the color image processing is very much important for us. So we have to know in details about the different technical terminologies related to the color image processing. So the objective of today's lecture and the coming subsequent lectures is to get aware with those different terminologies. I will discuss those important terms for examples and those different techniques used for this type of color image processing. Okay, first of all, some fundamentals, that is color fundamentals. You know, our color image processing is divided into two major areas. First one is full color processing. And in this case, images are acquired with a full color sensor such as color TV camera or color scanner. And this type of full color processing used in publishing or visualization and the internet. Then other one is the pseudo color processing. Here what we do is to assign a color to a particular monochrome intensity or range of intensities. Okay, I have discussed a lot about this monochrome. Okay, so I hope you will face no problem to deal with these terminologies. Now, in 1966, Sir Isaac Newton discovered that when a beam of sunlight passes through a glass prism, the emerging beam of light is split into a spectrum of colors ranging from violet at one end to red at the other. Okay, so you all know about Sir Isaac Newton. So this is the actually experiment. You see, this is the light coming through this optical prisms, and you will see the different colors. So color spectrum seen by passing white light through a prism. Okay, now visible light as a narrow band of frequencies in EM, and a body that reflects light that is balanced in all visible wavelengths appears white. You should note down that the body that reflects light that is balanced in all visible wavelengths appears white. But however, a body that favors reflectance in a limited range of the visible spectrum exhibits some shades of color. Like green objects reflect wavelength in the 500 nm to 570 nm range, while absorbing most of the energy at other wavelengths. You will see this image. We have gamma rays, X rays, UV, infrared, microwaves, TV, radio, okay, and different their range like 0.012, we have 100 feet like that. And accordingly, we have this wavelengths. Okay. Now, if the light is achromatic, see, these terms are very important. Okay. Achromatic means what? Void of color. It only attribute its intensity or amount. Obviously, if it is void of color, so its only attribute is its intensity or amount. And chromatic light spans EM from 380 to 780 nm. Okay. Then we have three basic quantities to describe the quality. The first one is radiance. And radiance is the total amount of energy that flows from the light source, and it is easily measured in watts. And luminance, this one is also very much important. Luminance is measured in lumens, that is lm, and gives a measure of the amount of energy an observer perceives through from a light source. So I'm repeating again because luminance is very much important. So luminance gives a measure of the amount of energy an observer perceives from a light source. For example, light emitted from a source operating in the far infrared regions of the spectrum could have significant energy, that is radiance. Okay, but an observer would hardly perceive it, that is its luminance will be what? Zero, almost zero. Okay, so that is our radiance. Radiance is the total amount of energy that flows from the light source. Okay, and usually we have the watt as its matrix, then luminance, and it gives a measure of the amount of energy an observer perceives from a light source. Then we have brightness, and this term is also very much important, and this is a subjective descriptor. To remember that brightness is what? A subjective descriptor that is practically impossible to measure. So you got it. This line means as it is subjective, so it may vary from person to person, subject to subject, so it is really practically impossible to measure, and it embodies the achromatic notions of intensity and is one of the key factors in describing color sensation. And I just illustrated the term. What does it mean by achromatic? Okay, so brightness is embodies the achromatic notions of intensity and is one of the key factors in describing color sensation. Clear? So these terms radiance, luminance, and brightness are clear to you. Now look at this figure. This is the figure of absorption of light by red, green, and blue cones in the human eye as a function of wavelengths. So we have blue, we have green, we have red. Then accordingly, you see 445 nm, 535 nm, and 575 nm. For your general awareness, these wavelengths are important for you. So as because blue, green, and red are the important ones. So as per the other wavelengths are concerned, we have different types of colors from bluish purple to red, that is purplish blue, and blue green, green, yellowish green, yellow orange, then reddish orange, red. So accordingly, we have different curve. At least do remember the blue, green, and red portion. Okay. So cones are the sensors in the eye responsible for color vision. So do note that because of the cones,